I'm Doug. I'm a YouTuber and streamer, and I make a lot of videos about playing games in really, really stupid ways, and often having my viewers help me in playing the games in very, very stupid ways.
Doug's content primarily centers around him presenting a weird idea or challenge to his audience and then seeing how it plays out. There's always a plan he comes in with that he intentionally leaves unfinished in order to give his chat a way to participate. However, his earliest exposure to playing games in unintended ways was far less structured, and really the result of just goofing around with friends.
Halo 2, when that came out, that was a huge deal, and everybody loved the single player, and especially the PvP multiplayer, but me and my friends spent an entire day. There's a mission where you drive a tank down a bridge to save some city in Earth, and we just shot each other with tanks for like 3 or 4 straight hours and made no progress in the mission. And I remember going away from that being like, man, Halo's awesome, but like that is not how you're supposed to play Halo at all.
For a lot of people, myself included, the Halo series was a breeding ground for experimenting with seemingly unintended forms of play. Personally, I've spent hundreds of hours in Halo 2 just messing around with stuff, whether it was searching for glitches on various maps or creating complex out-of-game rule sets for multiplayer modes in order to play something a bit more engaging than Slayer. Frankly, there's something about the series that kind of lends itself to be played in these ways. It was the heart of early machinima, and in general grew a massive community that developed their own modes that sometimes ended up becoming official ones. And Bungie recognized the community's interest in these things, which led to them adding Forge mode in Halo 3, their way of giving power to the player base to experiment with things even further, in a sense acknowledging the value that can come from players creating their own fun. While the campaigns and multiplayer modes of each game are mostly well-crafted experiences worth playing, I think what made the series remarkable from the start were the slew of interesting mechanics and intricate play spaces that gave players room to create their own modes of play.
More of a sandbox or set of tools that can be applied in a lot of different ways, where they've developed it so that all the tools in the game can interact in some sort of interesting or unexpected ways. So like Breath of the Wild and GTA 5 and Halo, I think all of those share kind of similar attributes of, hey, here's a whole bunch of pieces in the game, here's the way you are supposed to play them, in quotes, but there are so many interesting combinations that can happen if you just sort of slam them together.
When examining the games that lend themselves well to be played in the wrong ways, the most notable commonality between the vast majority of them are that they all have interesting physics engines, ones that provide flexibility in various ways, sometimes leading to cool movement options, and other times just fun, chaotic nonsense. Looking again at Melee, there's a reason it has stuck around while every other version of Smash has fallen off as soon as a new iteration of the game has come out. Its movement options are unparalleled, creating a wildly high ceiling for what can be accomplished in any given match. A similar thing can be said for many of the most popular speedrunning games. They're all about exploiting movement, level design, and even how a title is programmed to get through it at a ridiculous pace. While technically people can speedrun any game, the ones with the most active communities are generally the ones that have the most interesting forms of movement.